This is the place for history. We're talking about a rare find today with Haley Frizzle Green of the State Historical Society of Missouri. And we're going to talk about how you found it in just a minute, but let's start out with what you found, and don't pay any attention to what's behind us, okay?
Yes, so we were able to identify a photograph of Pulaski County's third courthouse. And since finding it, it actually hadn't been photographed before, except right after it had caught on fire. So there's no known photograph that we know of or other historians have found of the third courthouse.
So Pulaski County, we'll back up and say Pulaski County didn't just have one or two or three courthouses. Pulaski County's on the fourth courthouse?
Yes, that's correct, yes.
Okay, a lot of courthouses for Pulaski
lot,
County.
Yes.
So we'll address the picture behind us, and we see two gentlemen in the center here.
Yes.
And what can you tell me about this picture behind us?
Yeah, so the gentlemen here are unidentified. There was no identification on the photo whatsoever. So I'm not quite sure who these are. These could be city officials, they could be the people that own the land. But this here would be, so we're in Waynesville, Pulaski County. This here is downtown Waynesville. Over here, this building is the old stagecoach stop.
Okay.
And so that right there is the Historical Society of Pulaski County, Waynesville. This is still standing. It was originally a hotel back when this photograph was taken. And then over here is the courthouse in question.
So that's the third courthouse, and that's the picture we have of it. And I'm guessing from the picture, the intent was to show these two men.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but this, okay, so we see the picture now. How did this come to be found? That's the bigger question now.
Right, so this picture is part of the Johnson family collection. This was donated by one of the Johnson family members. And it came with over 24 scrapbooks. And so this picture is actually from a scrapbook. And at the time, William H. Johnson, he worked as a land agent for the Frisco Railroad. And so he started, in St. Louis, and he would ride the railroad down to Springfield, and throughout there he would sell real estate. And so this photograph, taken by William Johnson, as almost all the photos were in this collection, I was able to do some research around the time period, because we know that in 1903 the courthouse caught on fire. So it has to be before 1903. I was able to trace William Johnson's whereabouts to Waynesville in 1902, and he's selling land. And so along with those facts and then just the general perspective, this hotel, now stagecoach stop, and then this here is apparently the jail, according to Terry Primus, who is the historian who works here. So with his help, with newspaper research, just the general perspective here, we're pretty confident that it's Pulaski County Courthouse number 3.
Number 3,
yes.
1902.
Yes.
And then, do we know much about how it catches fire not too terribly long after this picture?
Right. I think I read that it was struck by lightning. So the photograph that did exist before we identified this one, you can see the perspective of just this wall here, and all of the windows are blown out because of the fire. So there's smoke billowing out of the windows.
Now there are also some other pictures, and if you don't mind, we'll talk about some of these pictures here.
Yes.
Is this courthouse number 4, 1950?
Yes, so this is courthouse number 4. You can see it was built in 1903. It was built by a Rolla architect. He was actually the state architect for Missouri, and it is Romanesque revival style. This still exists today. It's actually used for the Pulaski County Courthouse Museum. And if we had an up-to-date photo, you would see a more modern building right here.
Over here?
I believe so. I believe it's on this left side, and that's where they do most of the government operations.
Now?
Yes, now. Yes, so, and in 1979, this building was put on the historic register. So it's a historically recognized building.
So Pulaski County really kind of on the fifth courthouse.
Right. Yeah, that's
now.
true. That's true.
And we have this picture here.
Yes.
This is the old stagecoach stop
Yes.
that you were talking about in the prior picture.
Right, right. So this is the building. It looks very similar to this today. And a lot of more historical interpretation gets done here, events in Pulaski County and Waynesville, and that is where I was able to contact Terry Primus, and he helped confirm what we thought.
What you thought about the first picture
Yes,
we
about
looked
the
at.
first, yes.
So we'll move on to this one. This
Right.
is another rare picture, correct?
Right, so it's the same location, it's just from a different perspective up the hill.
Yeah.
And if anyone is familiar with Waynesville, then they're very much familiar with like the hill that goes up and the road that circles back around. But here you'll see this view is showing the businesses in downtown Waynesville, so what would be considered old Route 66 today.
Yeah.
And then this is the courthouse, courthouse number 3. And then we see the stagecoach, the side of the building here, the stagecoach stop here, and then the jail.
That's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I noticed the numbers down here. Did you
Yeah.
find out what those numbers mean?
So, like I had mentioned, these photographs are from a scrapbook,
Uh-huh.
and so this is just number 27 in that scrapbook. So he would have numbered them as he went along.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So, and is this a view that you know of anywhere else of the courthouse from that time frame?
No, I haven't been able to find any other photographs, neither has Terry Primus. Actually, there was a book written, I think in the 1980s, that showed the photo of just right after the fire, and it said, this is the only known photograph of courthouse number 3. So
Now they're going to have to update that.
we'll have to update it, yeah.
Update the book. So again, I'll just kind of try to make it bigger here as best we can on
Yes.
this screen. This is courthouse number 3, and courthouse number 3 was around for...
It was around for around 30 years. It was built in between 1872 and 1873. The courthouse before that was torn down because it was a condemned building after the Civil War. And so from 1873 to 1903, it existed like that.
Okay, so while we're here on this picture, we'll back up and we'll go to just a brief history of courthouse number 1,
Okay.
which we don't have a picture
Right,
of.
right, yeah. So that building was built, so Waynesville was formed around 1833. The first courthouse was built as a temporary log structure in 1840.
Makes sense.
Right,
Yeah,
and-
temporary. You're
yes.
just getting started. Yeah.
Yes, yep. And then not too long after that, it was a brick building, 2 stories. And that building, that would have been number 2. So that would have been the one that was condemned after the Civil War.
So what happened in the Civil War where the building wound up being condemned? Did it become part of a fight, or did one side take it over and kind of trash it?
Maybe. From what I could find is Waynesville was supporters at that time of the South, but the city, the town, was occupied by Union soldiers. So there was just probably a lot of animosity between the two, and the building just incurred so much damage that eventually it was condemned.
So it was collateral damage of the
Yes.
Civil War.
Yeah.
I was trying to look for the right
Yeah,
word
you
there.
got it, yes.
The, collateral damage, and then we get to courthouse number 3.
Right.
So the people you've talked to in Pulaski County, Waynesville, what do they think about this discovery of these pictures?
So Terry Primus, I keep mentioning, he was very excited. He was thrilled. I believe he'll be writing about it in his newsletter that comes from the old stagecoach stop. So he seemed pretty excited about it.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So we have, I think, another picture here, and this is Hollister. So is this out of the same scrapbook?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
Yes. So I mentioned the Johnson family. William H. Johnson, he was integral in building up the city of Hollister. So that's why there's so many images of Taney County, especially Hollister, just starting from this, going to what we know today as the old English style buildings, the ye old hotel, which is still down there, and then of course the railroad comes in and it becomes more of a boom town. But he was really significant in building up the town of Hollister.
So this almost looks like a rail car to me.
Yes, yeah, it is.
It
Yeah,
is.
yep.
Okay. Okay, it's a repurposed rail car.
Right, yep.
And I don't believe this merchant is around anymore.
No, I think this was one of the first buildings built in Hollister, from the Van Zants and the Jacksons, and it was general merchandise. And then I believe this building here was possibly the Bank of Hollister. I might have that incorrect, but a little fun fact about Hollister is all of the buildings were facing inward as we see here, but the railroad will actually come right here. You can see the tracks. And they ended up turning all of the buildings around so that when visitors exited the railroad, the rail cars, they would see more of the faces of the buildings and it would be more welcoming.
Interesting. Interesting. I like this guy right here.
Yeah.
He's just kind of hanging out.
He's just hanging.
Hanging out the
Yep.
window. And this is the guy we've been talking about
Yeah,
here.
William H. Johnson. He's right here. Yeah,
This is him here.
This is him right here.
Yeah.
He was, so along with Hollister, he was also pretty significant in Springfield. He helped plat many of the neighborhoods here. So Meadowmere over in Roundtree, Phelps and Phelps Grove Park. Yeah, he also helped, his son ended up creating William Johnson Construction Company, and he remodeled the Frisco Passenger Station over off of Mill and Main, and then he also built the Southwestern Bell building, I believe, downtown, and then Lily Tulip. So the family is very important in Springfield's development and Hollister's.
And in Pulaski County with the courthouse, too.
Well, photographing it, yes.
Photographing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Without his photograph, there probably would not be any other than the one of the building on fire.
And is this out of his scrapbook, too?
Yes.
So all this comes, and then how did the scrapbook come to your possession? Who thought, you know, this really should go to the State Historical Society of Missouri?
So I had actually reached out to one of, so it would have been William W. Johnson's granddaughter, and I saw that she was posting a lot of great historical photographs, and I had just reached out to her, and then she ended up donating these scrapbooks to us, and she continues to donate them because there's so many, of both William H. and William W. Johnson.
What was that like to be able to have all this
it was amazing.
history? Yeah.
It was amazing because some of these, I mean, as you can see with Pulaski County, but also Hollister, I mean, there's so many amazing photographs of just, you can see the development over time of Hollister and Taney County. You can see they were also very significant in getting Power Site Dam started.
Okay.
The YMCA camp down there too. So it's just all of these really unique photographs that just show more development in the Ozarks.
So what is the plan for the photographs? Are we going to have a gallery available on?
Yeah, so as far as the scrapbooks that she's donated, so like I said, there's probably around 24.
Wow.
I've been able to digitize all of the individual photographs within the scrapbooks, so they're all online on our website.
So I'll put that link up. So if you want to look at some of the local history from his perspective,
Right.
which is an important perspective,
Yes.
you'll be able to see that. So I'll have the link online for everyone to go back and look at all those pictures. So are there more discoveries, you think? Are you working on some things from these scrapbooks where you're like, I don't know what this is. I need to do more research?
So in the same scrapbook that the courthouse photographs came from, there's also images of, it looks like mining or digging up different minerals. And in one of the newspaper articles that helped with the research of pinpointing him in 1902, it shows that Pulaski County had found lead or something that they were interested in. Basically, they were interested in getting those resources and learning more about them.
It must just be amazing when you have a treasure trove and
Right.
look at this
Right.
that's coming in.
Yeah.
I have some work to do now.
Yep, exactly.
Really on this. Well, that's just fascinating that this has come into your possession. And if somebody out there is a relative of one of the city founders of
Oh, yeah.
Hollister or Springfield or Waynesville, and they want to do something like this. It's
Yeah.
like, I've just found all these scrapbooks or all these pictures. How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, they can either call my office, they can send me an email, they can visit our office, which is located on the 3rd floor of Meyer Library in Missouri State University. Really just contacting me, and I can either work with them individually, or if, let's say, they have something that's more of the southeast side of the state, we have a research center in Cape Girardeau, and I can direct them to our archivist there.
You just have the ability to see all this coming in. That's just
Right.
exciting for me.
It's really exciting.
On
yeah.
your behalf.
It is, yeah.
And it's kind of fun to look at this, and even when you look at the ads in the background, they tell you a little bit about what's happening there.
Yeah.
And this looks like it's probably
It's probably a fisherman cabin, just based on some of these signs. There's some other images from these scrapbooks that show a lot of these hunting, fishing, camping cabins, what we would consider, tourism, honestly, of the Ozarks.
yeah. This is not the way I would dress to go fishing.
He's very professional.
He's very professional in his pictures. So, well, thank you very much for coming in and showing us these pictures. And again, we'll have links on ky3.com if you want to look through all the pictures. And, maybe somebody will look through those pictures and say, I know what this is.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love that. Any information we can get, that would be great.
Yeah. Or if we go back to let me go back to the very first one.
Yes.
I'll just have to go through these one at a time, very slowly, until we get to the very first one. These two gentlemen. So right now, we don't know who these two gentlemen are.
Right.
So if somebody out there is familiar with these two gentlemen, let Haley know.
Please, yes. I'd love to identify them.
All right. Thanks for joining us on The Place for History.
Thank you.